Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Two Poor Kids. I'm Liz.
I'm still Christian.
Still Christian. And it's been a minute since we've been sitting in these chairs and doing this recording.
Yeah, we had a few discombobulated weeks. You were sick. I was sick. Everyone was sick.
Wild times.
I was traveling.
And a lot of it's end of school year stuff. And so there's been graduation things and I don't know, parent stuff, adult things. Woo! I'm sorry. That's a terrible noise. I'm going to take this straw out promptly. Excuse me.
That's staying in for sure.
I hope so. So yeah. And now we're getting back to it. It's officially summer.
Oh yeah, that's true. The kids, our youngest, promoted pre-K today.
I left this little thing out here.
Flexing.
Our youngest, it's a 2026 preschool promotion. And this is not today's topic, but it looking at this reminds me of something that we've been talking about, and you all have probably seen these posts, but showing up matters, even if it's just for a minute. And so immediately when Zoe walked into the room, Zoe's our 5-year-old, our preschool graduate. As soon as she walked into the room, she was nervously scanning, looking for us. And the fact that I think that we sat close to the door so that she could see us and then everybody else, a wave of relief crossed over her. And then she was excited. And so it's showing up to the Donuts for Grown-Ups a few weeks ago.
Field day,
right? That you went to field day, and even though you had to leave before it actually got started due to an unfortunate circumstance of how they decided to run that
1 hour of instruction
for preschoolers, it was wild. But the difference, I think, for Zoe to see you and I there, and world of difference. Showing up matters, even just for a minute. And I the things you know today. Growth and things and stuff.
So we brought a fun topic today.
Hard switch. I went on a tangent like I do.
Yeah, this could go on forever.
It could. Yeah. It could be a conversation topic.
Like a whole episode.
It could be a whole episode. If only we had a platform to talk about such a thing.
Weird.
What's today's episode? What's the topic? You're driving for sure.
So I think, as you had mentioned a little bit ago, this is a concept that we have continually made sure that we know is a possible reality throughout the entirety of time that Emma's been growing up, and then we've been together. And
before we were together even.
Yeah. Is that the idea that we are one step away from being houseless.
I call it 3 degrees of separation, but yeah.
Yeah. One of us loses our job.
Somebody breaks a foot.
Our house burns down.
That's 3.
There's a lot more.
Right, but that's more than enough for you, for any person that we know to be outside of their means.
Yeah.
And so often I think we idealize the idea of being rich and being wealthy and being successful and what this looks like. And even if you are financially wealthy, even if you have generational wealth, it is a very common, statistically, a very common belief that in our minds, we are closer to the 1% of the very, very rich than we are to people who are experiencing houselessness. And that's just factually not true.
Yeah. And that's never been our thought.
And that's never been, I mean, this is called Two Poor Kids, right? Like that's never been our experience. But I think that was really interesting to me to like learn that and to see that and experience that. So learning that like in school and college, that concept, I think I was like in Families in Poverty where I really started to peel that idea back. But we've talked about this for years. And before we were together, we were talking about this.
Yeah, and now we're going to play a scenario game.
A scenario game.
A scenario game. If we woke up tomorrow and everything was gone, and we have to define everything.
Okay.
But I assume the house, our little side businesses, one or both of our jobs.
Yeah, our like tangibles.
Yeah. So.
I agree. Let's call it everything.
Everything. So the first thing is, what do we still have?
I mean, we still have each other, and therefore we and our family, and therefore we still have a path forward.
Yeah.
And so like I think that's just a fundamental truth is that the idea of having nothing right now, the way that we operate as a family unit and how we operate as a team, in my mind, is that like we're just one good idea away from something, even when we start with nothing.
Yeah, and I think that is the core piece, which is critical, because no matter what our starting point is, the starting point is always going to be ahead of what it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or...
Right, because I have my knowledge.
Yeah.
Right, like I have my ability to learn. I have my ability to ask questions. I have my relationships that I've built and fostered and some that I've like cut out, right? And so like and we have that. And so I think that idea that you just said that was just like, oh yeah, like what if we woke up and we had nothing 5 years ago, I feel like my answer would be the same, but my next right step would have been different. Like I think it's been a fundamental truth for us and for our family that as long as like we have each other, we're gonna figure out the next right step.
Yeah. Because it's a partnership.
And
a team.
And that team includes all of the people in our team, not just you and me. And and so like today it looks way different than it would have 5 years ago. What are like how we build back better.
So with that, what would we rebuild first? Like what would be the first steps?
Wait, are you am I just simply answering your questions, or do you have additional things to add in?
Well, the first segment was basically the same. So, you're not answering my questions. This is not an interview. Okay. It's a discussion.
Interview with a wife.
Setting the baseline was, the baseline is like we have our skills. We have our starting point is not zero.
Absolutely not.
Nobody's starting point would ever be zero.
True. Yeah. And I'll also say, I think like for clarity for anybody who's listening, that like, yeah, it's good to say that. And it's good to be like, oh, it's like on a blue sky day, you can say that. I feel confident that would be true because we are two poor kids, right? And so like we not only grew up with negative, like in the like overdrawn accounts, bad checks, like clothes too small or none at all, houselessness, like all of the things, like like we both of us in our own respects have had a life in poverty until we built that in our adult lives into something new. So I just wanted to like add that in. If somebody's listening, I would be hella skeptical if I would be like, look at you with your pod mics and all those games behind you, and you'd be like, we'd be fine.
The idea is that we lost all this stuff.
No, I know, but to say like that we built this.
Yeah.
And so
This was not generational.
this was not generational wealth. Absolutely.
This was peak COVID addiction.
This is my new life coming to fruition. Shiny books.
Shiny sign books.
Okay, so yes. What would we build back first? Is that what you said? Or what would we...
What's the very first thing that we would focus on, and what would we rebuild first? So for me, right off the bat, I have to have some level of stability.
I was going to say safety.
Yeah. We would need to figure out a living situation, food, and
communication, transportation.
Space.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like to have a car. No matter what situation I'm in, I need to be able to move around.
And if you reverse engineer that means in order to get a car, you have to have a job.
And a place to live.
Because you can't get anything without an address.
Yeah.
So then I think like we did this a little bit. We did this a little bit like when we first moved to Portland. You could go back and watch it in some previous episode. But we were...
The origin story.
It was in an origin story, and I think it was also somewhere else. But like we would lean on our community, our friends, our family, and we would probably couch hop, camp if we had to, in order to have an address, in order to start building those other pieces back. And then we would also, which would be like our safe space for right now. And back then, we wanted to lessen the burden because we really felt like we were burdens, even though nobody told us that, which is something I'm working on in therapy. But like, and so like we minimize our stay at any space. I think this time around, I would have the conversation up front about long-term stability until we got on our feet. And not bopping week.
Yeah, I think
we didn't have our kiddo with us that summer either, but
yeah, I think that we would have to rely on our relationships, and luckily we have some very cool people around us.
We do.
And we were the house that people were coming to live with to get set up for a while.
It's still right, like not like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
3 years ago, right? Yeah, and so I think stability, and to me, stability and safety are hand in hand. Like housing insecurity is a real thing, and food insecurity. And so then I also would immediately go back to my roots of like, oh, where's my social programs? How can I be of assistance in the place that I'm in while I'm looking for a place of my own?
Yeah, I think another critical thing for us is still making time for the dates. We did that too. Even when it's a $20 date.
Or a free
date.
Yeah.
Concerts at the park.
Mm-hmm.
Fireworks shows.
Comedy in the park. This summer in Portland every week. Yeah, I agree. I think that what we would do after we had a landing spot, and then built like a communication structure with the people around us, because that will be really important for us, and all of the things, and then start like rebuilding all of the pieces, is that we would plan family outings, like things that we do with the family unit, and then we would plan couple outings, so that even if we couldn't afford to do things, that we were still doing things, going for walks, going to the park, going to the animal shelter so that people can see, like, kiddos can see the dogs, like, whatever it might be.
This is one of the things I forgot to say when we were setting up the defining the scope.
This was a setup.
No. Would we stay in Oregon?
Would we stay in Oregon?
If that is where we are, of course.
Initially? Yeah. I think that most of our network right now is here.
I still very much love Portland.
Yeah, I think... Yes. I think that we would end up going wherever our most stable place to live right now is and our highest likelihood of employment is. And
which is exactly what we did last time.
So we say that with confidence because we did it.
Yeah.
After graduation, origin stories, you can listen to the whole thing there. But like after graduation, so we were 26, 27. I don't know. Math is hard. But like, and then we didn't have a place to live. We were
30.
30. Cool. Love that for us.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you're 38. We've been here since 2017.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at keeping track of how old I am. Yeah. And so exactly right. And then we would have now it's a little bit different because our oldest is grown. And so that was a really key defining factor before. And that like our like truest stability and home base was in Washington. We've moved that home base here. Like,
yeah.
And so like, I think that all
Everyone's
of our, I think our anchors are all in the Portland area.
Yeah.
You agree we'd stay in Oregon? I heard you say, I still love Portland.
I think that we would stay in Oregon. I don't think we would be where we are today.
Like here?
In this particular part of.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think that we would stay in this specific town.
No.
We don't live in Portland proper.
There were some secrets that I didn't know about or that we didn't know about.
No. And I might stay in the general area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, stability.
Stability, safety, time, like protected family and relationship time.
Yep. Where would we start building our income?
That's a great question. So, we talk. Well, I say this all the time, both in my like 9-to-5 job and our hustles, is like it takes money to make money, right? And so like I don't. In the immediate, I'm an emergency manager, so in my brain, what's happening is that I'm in our first 72 hours. And then I'm like thinking 1 week out, 2 weeks out. And so like immediately I'm not like going to the store with my non-existent money, my non-existent credit. I imagine for some reason we're bankrupt and
oh yeah,
we were kicked out of the house, whatever.
Full reset.
Right. I'd go to the library and I would start using the computers there to job search, utilizing my skill set.
Yeah, I think I would. So one of the cool things about this whole scenario is that we don't lose our skills. Yep. We don't lose our job history.
Right.
I would just go to a temp agency.
I never used a temp agency. You're right.
Yeah. There are so many recruiting agencies and temp agencies in the area, and so many businesses solely use them so they don't have to pay for their own recruiters.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, yes, immediately.
Yeah.
I would
drop it in, go in the library,
fair.
drop it in the resumes.
Right, exactly. Is that I would use the resources that I know are great. So like, yes, the place that I'm staying at probably has Wi-Fi. I also want to like lessen the lift in the presence throughout the entire day. Also, depression is real. So like staying in a space that you're like sort of like pitching up at is a little different. So like, yes, library. I would immediately start like chatting with friends, informational interviews, that kind of thing, like letting them know for some reason my life is blown up. And then and I would continue building community. And I've never used a temp agency to get a job, but I would,
So
because
yeah,
desperate times call for desperate measures.
but also there's so all like the temp agencies are not all temp agencies. Like we could do like
Yeah,
business.
yeah, yeah. They're hiring. They're hiring.
There's like recruiting firms. Some of them do temp work. Some of them do engineering work. Some of them do business work. Some like
And I would ask my friends and the community that we've built if they have odd jobs, if they need dog sitters, if they need babysitters, if they need whatever.
yeah.
I would ask them like what assistance, because they know my character, like they or somebody else needs, and if they have leads.
And what's cool is our daughter is currently doing the same thing.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
She's odd jobbing it all summer
Yeah. And
making some
her own
money.
rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot about hiring agencies. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think before you do that, one of the important things about us is that we are always remaining vulnerable and open in most of our relationships. So in this case, I don't think ego would get in our way.
No.
Yeah.
No, because it's like it's too big, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody's trying to wear in our lives. Nobody's trying to wear a crown in this. Like heavy is the head that wears a crown. I would never.
Never
right?
once are we portraying an image of a white picket fence and a red door.
No.
My awesomeness comes with a mess.
One of my favorite things that you say, speaking of that mess, with this like idea of like, I think everybody in our what I would say is like our inner circle would know almost immediately what happened. I know enough phone numbers still in my brain that I could start reaching out to people. I would be able to get onto Messenger when I get to the library or at so-and-so's house to start like telling people, right? And so like one of my favorite things that you say is like, this is who I am 100% of the time, is that I never lie so that I can like keep my books in order, right?
Yeah.
And so like and the reason that I really love that, because I talk about that but in a different way, be honest even if your voice shakes, right? Like that's sort of exact same idea. But it's really saying that like I'm gonna tell this group of people maybe more details, but it's still gonna have the same information that this like outer circle gets, out and out and out.
Yeah.
Because not everybody needs to know all of the fine details, and that has pissed some people off in my life over the past decade or so, that I've been more selective of the level of detail because gossips. But I think our inner circle would know immediately. What I thought you were going to say was, I think you were talking about vulnerability. I think all of the while we would be consistently checking in on each other's vulnerability and our family's vulnerability with each other. And so one of the things that I really appreciate that we have like learned to do, and that we still like are learning, is, hey, are you okay? And then, the obvious answer, and everybody gives this, is like, yeah, I'm fine. Right? Like whatever. Yeah, I'm fine. And be like, are you sure? 'Cause your vibe is off. Right? Like,
The
and
tension is in the air.
right. I get like there's something happening, and I don't know if it's you or it's me. And what I think we've really learned how to do over time, but really in the last 2 years or so, I think is just to ask those questions more bluntly. It'd be like, hey, what's happening here?
What's wrong with your face?
What's wrong with your face? And then like sometimes it's just like, hey, are you aware that you're doom scrolling? Right? Like,
I got that one last night.
hey.
That happened.
And you're not the only one, right? And so that vulnerability that I think we have also built with each other is important, because in this circumstance, we are not okay. Like, we will be okay, and we're building things back, and many things are okay, but like something awful has happened. And so like that consistent checking in, where are we at? This is how I'm feeling. How are you feeling? Like that level of vulnerability, I think, is also really critical for us to get to all of the next pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that kind of leads into the next piece.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Is that what would we not rebuild? I have an idea for this one.
Okay.
So, fun story about Liz and I is that we make a lot of money, but we also come with a lot of debt. Because we tried to strategically use credit cards to like
balance. I don't know.
Make all the things happen, and we made other people's stuff happen. We made our stuff happen.
We took care of a lot of people for a long time, and it came at a price.
Yeah.
Which we don't regret.
We don't regret, but I don't think that would be the tactic this time.
I agree.
To the best of our ability.
To the best of our ability. Yeah, I think that in this scenario, I would be more reliant on the relationships that we have.
Yeah.
And I would work really hard to be the person that asks for help and doesn't feel bad for it. I would feel bad for it, but I would still do it because I'm so accustomed to being the friend who like offers the help and gives all the help, and that's who like no shock, and this is probably most people, like I would rather be that person. I would rather be the person who has everything that you need, and I will like bend over backwards in order to make that happen. And I don't want anybody bending over backwards to like take care of me or
because
you or us.
Because we don't want to be a burden.
Because we don't want to be a burden.
We like to people
it's
please.
It's in therapy, but like absolutely, I do not want to be a burden. So in this idea, right, like even in this completely fictitious idea, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to hang out at so-and-so's house all day long because they also need privacy from this house that I'm crashing, which they are offering me and us, and I have gratitude for that, and I don't plan on like moving out tomorrow because I don't have a house and I want stability. And we created like an agreement between us and so. And I think that I would fight my instinct and let other people assist the same way that like we have assisted with others. So like probably not so much credit card debt. I think that we would, if at all, I think that we would put some hard parameters as we continue to build back about how much we can share with other people, even when we do eventually get our roles, because luckily in this scenario, like our skill sets have not changed. I mean, not like we haven't lost any skill sets anyways. And so like
the only thing that would take out our skill sets is if we suffered brain damage.
In this completely fictitious scenario. And so I know that it's a matter of weeks, maybe months before I'm making pretty decent money again.
Yep.
And I won't lie to those of you listening or Christian, right? Like sometimes the idea of bankruptcy is super tempting.
Oh yeah, I'd like the reset button.
And I know that there are a lot of negative implications that come with it. I weigh regularly whether those implications are worse than what we do right now. And I don't know the answer to that. And we've talked about this several times over the past few years. It's like, ooh, should we consider bankruptcy or no? I don't know. Ask us in 5 years. But I like at this point in time, I will never be out from under my debt. That's how it feels. I can't imagine it, and I can't imagine a world where I don't have like student loan payments or that we retire.
Oh yeah, I don't think retirement's going to happen.
It's not real. And like that's okay.
You know what's actually frustrating to me is that I don't plan on retiring.
But you have to pay into retirement.
And we have a retirement, and the amount of money in the retirement would clear all the debt today.
You know, the government really has our future interest in mind. Yeah. So I think that the other thing that I wouldn't build back, I think that this is a time where I'd be paying attention to relationships. And I would not be pouring from my cup into cups that are bottomless, right? Like if I'm in a space where somebody just like what they want is information, but they don't actually care, I think that this would be the time where I'm like really paying attention. How and why are people showing up? And if those relationships don't serve me, I'm going to figure out a way to sever them. I want to have relationships and friendships with people that would show up the way that we show up, right? And I have a lot of gratitude that that this is a fictitious scenario and that we have not yet hit our 3 degrees of separation between us and complete devastation and experiencing houselessness in our late 30s. But mid to late 30s, I don't know. I'm older than Christian.
By 4 months. Now, with that being said, you were 38 and I am 37.
Child.
Cougar.
And so, I think that I would be paying attention. Because right now, I'm really trying to only feed the relationships that are feeding me and us.
Yeah, I'm going through this strange phase right now where my entire scope of relationships is changing.
Shifting. Entirely.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
I have new people speaking into my life.
Yeah.
And the people that are heavily speaking into my life today, they're very good people, and they're outside of recovery. And that is hard and strange for me.
Yeah. Not that they're wild now, because they're certainly not, but
because they're in their 30s.
Yeah. Oddly enough, my newest friend group
I never drew that connection.
My newest friend group that I hang out with the most regularly are all inside of recovery. And so what's ironic about this, if you didn't know, is that Christian...
that was strange.
My tongue got caught in my mouth. I didn't actually call you Chris. Christian is in recovery. And
if you didn't know.
But I do not practice recovery. I have not drank in a really long time. I haven't done any amount of drugs in a very long time. But still, by by and large would be considered a normie. And my group of friends is, that's funny.
That is funny.
I didn't draw that until right now.
That's wild to me.
That's so silly.
And I still have some friends in recovery.
Obviously,
for sure.
it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. But like,
What's pouring into your life?
yeah, the people pouring into my life are not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Funny.
What a wild turn of events.
Is there something else that you wouldn't? You know what I wouldn't do in this moment, in this like era of time. I would think like the last 6 to 8 months or so, but really like the last 3 months. I think that I would build our house and eventual future home back with a lot less stuff.
Yeah.
Is that I can't say that it would be like a minimalist home, but I think that it would be a minimalist plus home. Like a little bit more like knickknacks and stuff on the walls. But like because I really like things. Like I like things that remind me of you or of our family or whatever. Like there's a grape soda pin that's plugged into the thing right now. Like that brings me joy. And I want less of it.
I think that we would have stuff and we would get rid of stuff that is no longer serving us.
Which is what we're doing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, in this fictitious scenario, we have nothing.
Yeah, yeah. So I do have a thing that I would do.
Okay.
Yeah. If we lost our jobs and restarted, and if I lost my job today, I think that I would do two things. I would focus on starting up our businesses again. And I would take that time to be a teacher.
Really?
Yeah. The thing that is stopping me from being a teacher today is the fact that you have to do it unpaid for a certain amount of time. And our life is too expensive.
Oh, interesting.
I'm very good at teaching kids.
He hangs out with middle schoolers every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I think thinking about work in that way, what I would do, and maybe this is true then, like the idea of a temp agency, which I didn't not consider until this conversation, right, is like I would have state health insurance until further notice. We would, as a family, state health insurance, whatever, because we don't have work. And you need health insurance.
And Oregon's working on being the first state with universal health care.
With universal health care, yes. But like I think that I would work those temporary jobs in order to get the income to help like set up the life, do the new whatever, and then I would do fantasy event business planning, that kind of stuff. After I felt like we had, for the very first time in our whole life, an actual nest egg. Because we've never, because that's the other thing is, we don't have a nest egg at all.
Yep. Yeah. One of the things that we learned late, specifically when we bought our house, was, if we're not funding our dream, we're funding someone else's dream.
Yeah.
And I think that once we learned that piece, our priorities shifted.
Significantly. Yeah, and after we came to that, we want to buy a house, not because society tells us to buy a house, because we had a full stop while we were house searching. It's in a previous episode. It is. Yeah, and we had a full stop in a previous episode that we had to ask the question, am I house hunting right now because I'm married and society says that what you do is you get married, you go buy a house? Or am I buying a house or trying to buy a house right now because I want to? Like what's the purpose and the reason? And and I think that we didn't ask that question earlier. One, because nobody teaches you to ask that question, and two, because like nobody taught us how to do any of this. We're completely self-taught, and so it's also kind of scary to like do these things.
Fun story.
Yeah.
Next question.
Cool.
What would scare us?
Going to work for a company or a person or a group of people that even if they paid me well, that it like challenged me morally or ethically in a way that I didn't like circa 2018.
Yeah.
I don't want to work for people, period, kind of. And I certainly don't want to work for people that harm me and people I care about.
I have a lot of respect for my current boss, but I don't think I told you about this. There was a conversation that happened last week when I got my new letter and my new role. I said before I gave back the letter or signed to him,
Yep.
I told him that like I recognize that I'm getting this role, but I need him to know like I'm still going to do the same thing that I do today. I push the boundaries and I call people out.
Yeah.
And he says, "Good. No one told you to stop doing that." I said, "But I need you to know that I've watched other people in this particular role bend over and I can't do that because at the end of the day, my wife and I are the people that have to sleep next to me."
Yeah.
He said, "Good."
I do like him. And I've worked for some employers here in Portland area. No, Portland. I've only worked in Portland, even though I've never actually lived in Portland proper, but outside of Portland. I've worked for people and companies in Portland that I didn't know sucked and would cause me moral injury.
That's true.
Like, I didn't know. And so, like, the first time, and I won't, like, call them out, but, like, the first time that I made $38,000 a year, which was easily $20,000 more than, or at least $15,000 more than I had ever made before. And I was like, I'm on top of the world. In Portland, that's not a lot of money, because it's expensive to live. But, like, I was there for 8 months. At month 6, you and I was miserable in month 1. At month 6, I was, you and I were saving every check that I got for an exit strategy. At month 7, my dad died.
Yep.
At month 8, I left. At month 10, so 2 months later, I was still unemployed and then in AmeriCorps. And, like, I would never want to do that again. I would never want to work at a place that challenged me in a way that made me question whether or not that workplace was more important than my family.
Which it's not.
Which it's not. It's not. And then, like, like a future workplace loved and then didn't love. Or certainly it didn't love me. I loved it too hard. And I wouldn't, and I know for a fact that I wouldn't do that now because this experiment or this idea is about, like, we retain our knowledge, right? And so, like, I went into my current role, like, I feel very eyes open and very aware that if I'm building my legacy, it certainly is not for somebody else. Like, I'm not working for somebody else when I'm building my legacy and our legacy, introducing our side hustles, right? which will continue to change, grow, expand, sell, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. So, yeah, I think that the way this question was kind of laid out.
Oh, I did it wrong.
Oh no, it's fine. That's a reasonable answer. It would the way that the question is laid out is like, what are some fears that you would have? Like, would you be afraid of failing your kids and your friends and being a failure and all this other stuff? And I don't think that that part is true entirely, because at the end of the day, like one of our strongest things, like both personally and as a couple, is resilience. And I have a fetish, and that fetish,
guys, oh my,
is smashing through hurdles and breaking systems. Like nothing strokes my ego. Well, you know.
Guys, oh my God.
I love figuring out the system, breaking it, and then rebuilding it.
Yeah.
And making it easier for other people.
Step up and wiggle at all levels. I don't think. So Irene says this. Irene is my therapist. Irene says this to me all the time.
Shout out Irene.
Shout out Irene. She doesn't watch these, I don't think. I told her that if one day she wants to actually learn more about me, she should probably watch my podcast. One of them. She can choose.
Sometimes they're just like, oh yeah, I gotta remember to tell Irene this, and then you don't.
Her favorite is when I doorknob something, which I didn't know what that was, but I apparently do it all the time.
It's specific to Liz.
No, it's not. Therapists on the call, you let us know. Okay, so doorknobbing is like you're on your way out the door, grab the doorknob, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, here's this big earth-shattering thing. Okay, see you next week. Bye. And then you leave.
I did that to Marique 2 weeks ago.
Shout out to Marique. So what Irene says to me is, in this idea, I get whatever. So like at work, I'm like, oh man, what if I can't do the thing, or what if I can't get it done? And she's like, yeah, that doesn't sound like you, right? Like she was like, you're, and she said, I'm not even saying that you should do the thing, right? Like I'm not saying that you should work double time to get that done or whatever. But I am saying that I don't know that there's a reality to which you exist that the thing that you need to get done doesn't get done. Like that is part of my safety protocol that is ingrained in my body, is like what has to happen, that's what's going to happen. That's what is going to happen, even if it takes longer than I originally planned. So the idea of letting somebody down, I don't think that's hardwired into me anymore. I think that my brain. Oh, fun fact. This is actually maybe why this feels like such an easy conversation for me to have. I think your brain is similar, so probably an easy conversation for you to have. Is like when everything is catastrophic and everybody else is really worried and freaking out, and this is not something that I know in theory, this is something I know in reality because I made a career out of it. When everything is really amped up, that's when my brain slows down. Everything makes the most sense to me when everything else is chaotic for everyone else. And so I was like, oop, here's all the puzzle pieces. And if we just move this piece over here, and then we just do that, and then we do this, and then these are the 6 steps that I need to get to the next step.
Sequencing.
Yeah, is great. And so like this dialogue to me, it feels great. Right? Like it doesn't feel scary. And I often tell people, like, I think about the worst possible scenario every day. So hopefully you don't have to, because people are like, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about losing everything that I have. I don't want to think about all the things that I'm going to be afraid of, or I'm only thinking about all the things that I'm afraid of. How can I possibly start planning? That's just not how my brain works.
And I like that your answers keep leading into like the next segment. It makes it easy to shift.
Cool. Hire me.
So counterbalancing the fear, what gives us confidence? It's the thing that you just said. It's that we thrive in chaos. We thrive when people are overwhelmed, and like situations that overwhelm people are things that we have been trained and traumatized to handle very quickly.
Yeah. And to like, and I think like to make a decision, right? And so,
Oh yeah.
is that like people? Oh, I guess this absolutely plays in. Good for you for figuring out this puzzle piece so quickly. This is exactly what you were saying, and that I was saying. It is fear that keeps people from making a decision. The decision to like cross the street here or cross the street down, right? Like then people are like, I don't know. Like it is fear that keeps people from like choosing anything to eat on the menu, or trying something new, or picking out a car, or picking a career.
So one of my sponsees keeps asking me the same question regularly. He keeps telling me that for some reason it seems that I don't actually care what other people think about me, and that I'm able to make decisions, and I don't care that other people aren't going to like it.
I don't know that is true.
I'm not saying it's true.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that that's what he keeps telling me.
Like that's the perception.
Yeah. And he said, how do you just make decisions?
Oh, those are two separate things.
But it's always the same set of serious things that he says. Is that,
well, listen up, buddy. He's like, a Liz again. Oh my God.
first and foremost, I do care that people are looking.
Yes.
Because at like just the core values that we have is like we want to be able to show other people that it's possible and that we can do it.
And that we will take care of them while we're doing it.
Yeah. The thing that you were getting to is that we have learned over and over and over, and sometimes the hard way, is that you just have to make a decision.
A decision.
And if it fails, make
a
a
new
different
decision. Yeah.
It doesn't actually matter.
It doesn't matter. It largely doesn't matter.
Yeah. Your decisions could be catastrophic and you could die or end up in prison or whatever. But
and then you would make a new decision.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Unless
people
you're
are
dead,
really
you don't do that,
afraid
yeah.
of change, and change is inevitable. And so like I actually usually love change because it's unavoidable. And so I won't get off on that tangent, but it's true. It's just a fact. So I think two things related to that last comment is like a friend of mine was like going through some like hard stuff a few years ago, and this like Lizism came out because they were like spinning out, and they were like, what do I do? What if I make the wrong decision? Like, well, and the decision for them was like, I could stay here in Portland and buy a house, or I could go and do my dream job in Boston.
Do the dream job.
Both were dreams, right? And so like both have fundamental dreams that exist in two columns in the brain. And it seemed that the universe was like, you're going to be successful no matter what you do, right? And so, but they were like really spun up because sometimes the options of like, either I have only great decisions and I like FOMO, right? Like the fear of missing out, or I only have bad decisions and therefore like everybody's going to be mad at me if I make a bad decision. Like your sponsee was kind of maybe alluding to.
Yeah.
And so like my Lizism that I serve there, which you're talking about, is like, hey, you know what? Like nobody told us this, but like if like decisions are, they don't have feelings. They're just largely ambiguous. Outside of a few key choices that you make, you're not actually making good decisions or bad decisions. That's not what's happening.
Yeah.
Minus a few.
There could be some better.
Minus a few. You know what they are. A few. But like they don't have feelings.
Also, the world is not black and white.
It's not like that. And so like just make a decision that is rooted in something that is fundamentally good for yourself or somebody else. That is not intentionally trying to cause harm. Like that's how you make a half decent decision. You very well may not like the results of that decision. And if you do not like the results, choose again.
Yeah,
There's no feelings to a result or to a choice.
yeah, and the thing that I kept bringing up to him, and I keep bringing up to him, is that as long as you have decided what your priorities are,
Yes.
make the decisions that are going to support that.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you and your partner are the only people that sleep next to you.
Yeah. And do you sleep well at night?
Yeah.
Which was the second point that I was going to bring up. I also, not from your sponsee, but like from plenty of people, some friends, some family, from some just strangers, some people probably watching this podcast or listening to it. Not only do I care, and will continue to make decisions that other people don't appreciate, but not only do I care everything about what your reaction might be to what I'm deciding, it's actually like painfully excruciating how much time, because I'm a people pleaser, that I'm putting into this because I want to make sure that like you're cared for and all of the things. And when I come back to it at the end of the day, a few things. One, you can't make everybody happy.
That's a fact.
You just like, you cannot. And unfortunately, you have taught me that. Not that like I don't make you happy, but like I would say largely I do make you happy. So you're not the person I'm talking about, but we've had this conversation like in our personal lives, is like sometimes you're always the bad guy, even when you're doing all the right things. Like
I can be killing it,
and sometimes you're always the bad guy. And
I'm
so
always
like
killing it.
And so like sometimes I'm the bad guy regardless of no matter what I do. And so like whatever decision that I'm making, but really me, like I have to answer to myself, because like I have to be responsible to myself. Nobody else is sitting up here in my brain. Nobody else is awake with me at 2 a.m. when I can't sleep. And so like just make a decision. In my line of work, the inability to make a decision kills people. Literally. It can. And so like make a fucking choice.
Mine too.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 more things to this.
Okay.
The first one is a speed round.
Okay.
And the speed round is then going to turn into a final question.
Okay. I have to tell you, I like this topic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised about some things. And I love that after 10 years of being together that I still like learn things.
Yeah. Is it that I would just bail on everything and work on our businesses and be a teacher?
Yeah, that one, the teacher part is surprising to me. And like, and I know that the conversation that we would have, for those of you who are like, how would you even do that? The conversation we would have is, you do that.
Yeah.
I would say, do that. Like, this is the best time that you could do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To be a perfect start over.
Yeah, and even if we hopefully don't lose literally everything, like if that is the dream and we decide that that's the dream and that's what we want to do for our family, this house can be sold. We can go bankrupt. We can do all of the things, and we could and would make that work.
I'm on a perfectly fine path. We're doing cool things.
And I'm just saying that like everything is possible.
Yeah.
There are just steps that we could and would take to get there. Up doesn't always mean financial gain.
Yeah.
Okay, speed round.
All right, speed round.
No explanations, just answers, right?
Yeah. And then we can discuss if there's any surprises. Although there shouldn't be. So if everything disappears tomorrow, job or business?
Job or business?
Yep.
What do you mean?
Choose job or business.
That I keep?
No, that you're restarting. Would you do a job or business?
Okay. If everything disappears tomorrow.
Business. For me.
Business. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if we're
Yep.
Yeah.
If I'm not thinking 72 hours, I just had to shift my brain.
apartment or RV?
RV.
Yeah, apartments are pretty ghetto here. Also, it'd be fun.
I would travel doing our job.
Oregon or elsewhere?
Oregon.
Yeah, I like
For now.
Oregon. Security or freedom?
They're the same thing. Security.
Hmm.
They're
Yeah,
the same
security.
Thing. They're the same thing to me.
You can
They're the
have
same-
both. Yeah. Savings or investing?
Investing,
Yeah, in stuff that we believe in. Yep.
which turns into a savings.
Podcast or pause it?
Podcast.
Podcast. Everyone likes that.
Podcast. Like
Podcast.
podcast all day.
Podcast your whole fucking life. Be like Ozzy Osbourne before he died. Side hustle or overtime?
Side hustle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing now. I'm doing both, but like mostly side hustles.
All right.
My hustle has a hustle.
Any surprises? No.
A little surprised that that we would get an RV instead of an apartment, but there are some real nice RVs out there.
Yeah.
And like one of our friends, probably more than one of our friends, but one of our friends has one of those like turned out ginormous vans with like the bed and the shower. Your Sunday guy.
Yeah.
And
My sponsor.
yeah, and I just love that. I don't know that I want to live in said van, but like,
But it's
I
got
wish?
a shower.
Right? Do I wish that is what we use to go somewhere else every weekend? Yes.
So fun story. I
Is he
asked him
selling it and giving it or giving it to us?
I did ask him if we could use it like Airbnb it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah.
He said we could talk about it. All right, closing question. If everything disappeared tomorrow, what would still make us rich? And just so we know, we're not exact, like we're not rich.
Our debt to income is insane. For now, what would still make us rich? I mean, it's cheesy and it's true, but like our relationships with each other and the family and like our found family and yeah, like that.
I've said this in nearly every time that I've done a speaker meeting, a presentation, a panel, any of that, is that the greatest thing that I've learned how to do in recovery is to have relationships.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think yes, relationships. And then the other thing that I think makes us rich is like our ability to problem solve.
Oh yeah.
Right? I think that our minds and our hearts are like we are working on building everything anew. And those two things is what makes me confident that we would build back better if we went back to nothing.
Yeah, because we would still have the same core beliefs and like step up and wiggle and building legacies. Like when we shifted our mindset to be those things, which I don't even know at what point, but it's just been everywhere. As long as we remain of service, things just happen.
Yeah. Yep. I 100%.
And that is the end of our fun scenario.
Bop, 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 bop.
Bop, bop.
Did you learn anything? Was anything surprising to you?
No,
No.
not tonight.
Did you all think that anything was surprising, or do you have like questions about like how we got here or whatever? Fun fact, I do personal preparedness, or at least I think about it a lot. And I
She prepares herself personally.
and I like teach people about personal and community preparedness, and so because that's what I do for a living. And if you're like, dang, how do you guys talk about this so calmly? One, I hope that you never had to experience the trauma that taught your brain to be calm in the face of chaos. And two, like we want to talk to you. Like we still want to chat. Ask us questions. Let us know. Listen to the next episode.
Listen to
Maybe
the
it'll
next episode.
Did you hear my nose? It just like screamed.
Yeah, I thought that was the table.
No, it was my nose. I hope that you all heard that. That was great. My whole face just turned red. I'm blushing.
This is also staying in the phone.
Okay, everybody. That's a wrap. Thanks for listening to Two Poor Kids. Follow us on the gram. I think that's what they call it. Social media, Instagram, all of the things. But also listen to us on YouTube and wherever the heck you podcast.
It's definitely funnier, I'm sure, on
It's
YouTube.
way funnier to watch us. I hear that Apple is also doing some podcast videos.
Oh, yeah. Our stuff is supposed to be... Yeah. Our videos, there's supposed to be an update either this month or next month where our videos can be uploaded to you.
Very cool. And so check us out. And also ask us questions because we like that. One day you all are going to start asking all of the questions on YouTube and Instagram, and then we're going to answer them, and you're going to be like, hell yeah.
Shout out to Coralie. She's
Shout
always
out to
making
Coralie.
comments.
Shout out indeed. Thank you. All right, friends. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.